Shabbat Shalom, L'chaim L'chaim. This week's Torah portion is Shoftim. Shoftim means judges, and that is the focus of the majority of this Torah portion. There's the different laws about judges who are fit to be judges. There's the laws of Adim, who can be, appropriate witnesses and false witnesses, what that means. There's laws about prophets and idolatry and sorcery and all these different laws, especially the ones related to kings, which is very timely because Elul, the king is in the field. So to learn about kings is very interesting. The Torah portion goes on and it actually concludes with this idea, this mitzvah of the Egla Arufa, which is a very unique and interesting mitzvah that we'll get into another time. What I want to focus on here is one of the idolatries that I dove into more to try and understand throughout this week, and that is the Asherah tree. What the historians believe an Asherah tree was, basically in the context of the Torah, Hashem brings up the Asherah tree about 30 times or so throughout the Torah, where he's basically saying, when you go into the land of Canaan, you must destroy all the Asherah trees. So what is an Asherah tree? The historians tell us that it was either a tree that they carved images into and worshipped, or it was a pole, like a totem pole, that they carved and decorated and they worshipped it. How did they worship it? They most usually believe, or they typically believe, that it was worshipped through illicit relations or things like that. Now, we know that from so what is Asherah? Asherah is them bowing down to the goddess Asherah. And this goddess, they believe, was the originator of all the other gods. So we know one of the most notable ones is the Baal Peor, which they worshipped by sacrificing children, etc. and Molech, etc. The idea of Asherah is this idea that she was the mother of all gods. So the Canaanites believed that there's Hashem, there's a supreme God, a supreme, ruler, but he needs a wife, and she is his equivalent. She is the other half of God. And so it's a very interesting idea, and that's why God pushes us to destroy that, because as we know, God is one, and he is the only thing that there ever is, was, and will be. There's no Asherah, there's no counterpart. He is one, he is all. Now, why I find this so interesting is because I was speaking to someone this week and they're telling me about the Barbie movie, which has been a big deal. And they said there's an interesting scene at the opening of the movie where you have these little girls playing with their ceramic baby dolls. And out of the sky comes this big Barbie doll, and immediately the children see this doll and they start to smash their dolls, their ceramic baby dolls. They smash it in replacement for this big Barbie doll. And why we found it so interesting was because it felt like the message was that in society today, which, in pop culture we learn a lot about society, in society today, people are replacing children with this drive to push to have their own things. So the Barbie, she had her own house, her own car, everything was her own. It was self-sufficient and it was not needing anyone else. And it felt like who was being punished, who was being given up in that case, was the children. This ideal, or this, my baby, this push to have no children, no focus on the core family, but to focus on yourself and your home and your assets, what you have. And we know that Asherah and all the gods that originated from her, the way they worshipped it was also by sacrificing children. So I don't know so much, if there'd be a bracha that I'd give, but just to look into the Torah portion and find that it's very timely for our age. That all these things going on, the movies that are coming out, they relate to the Torah portions, and we could see and learn from them, and we get guidance from Hashem, who's telling us to burn the Asherah tree, to destroy the Asherah tree, to focus on what he knows and tells us are the ideals we need to focus on. And that is core families, focusing on the children, the next generations, who are the Adim for the Torah. Shabbat Shalom.